Video memoir, ages 12 through 14. I realize I'm skipping around. I got up to 13, but I didn't tell you that 12 to 13 was probably one of the tougher years of my life. Mother finally divorced the abusive second husband. We were on the lam to Sacramento. I remember sleeping on floors and couches and in hotel rooms. I remember the apartment hut. I remember going to one house, and my sister and I walked outside, and there was a fence, and we saw a horse beyond that fence, and that horse started cantering towards us, almost seeming to smile, almost as if this was one life we could live. And we begged our mother, please take this house, please take this house. We wanted to see that horse. But of course, she didn't have the dough. There's a part of me that wonders what my life would have been like if I had lived in a house next door to a horse. 8th grade was difficult for me. The kids were rough. I was a weirdo. I got revenge on these kids through capitalism. I didn't have any money. They did. See, the way my scam worked was I would take my lunch money, if I had any, go to a 7-Eleven, buy those little now and later candies, split one of those 5 packs into little tiny now and later things. And then when we were in school, when the kids couldn't actually go anywhere, I could sell these fucking now and laters to the rich kids. And I would pay like $0.25 for this, I think. And then I would sell each piece for $0.25. I would have enough to go to the arcade later, or rather 7-Eleven, where I played a number of really awesome games, including Gauntlet. When I devised this scam, I really had no political compass other than to survive. I had been spending my entire childhood surviving, and I didn't know it then, but some instinct summoned a creative way to try to get things like comic book. Going to the Nordstrom rooftop cafe to get a 25-cent cup of coffee. There was no escaping it. You had to have a little money to survive. You couldn't just walk in the park all day. Although I do remember an 8th grade girl I dated briefly, and a very pleasant memory of holding her hand while walking in the park. That's what's beneath the sourpuss, you see. Big old mushy me. I mean, this video memoir has been quite amazing for me because I've never been this candid. It was another trick I learned from this hard scrabble life. It could sometimes offer the illusion of an open book if you just shut up and listened, or you entertained, or you were so interesting that, well, you were irresistible. I am irresistible. I think I am. With that joke, I'm acknowledging the ego of putting forth one's life onto a TikTok. Heaven forfend that any motherfucker would actually sit through the 20-some-odd minutes I've generated so far. But I would not be able to do this and get here if I didn't fake my way through it first. In my experience, the best artists have been the ones who have gone from total trickery to heartfelt truth. But I had that cunning to fleece those kids on the candy front. But as I was to hear from so many film noir villains as I soaked up movies and read so many books about the hard-boiled scene, I didn't fuck anyone over who didn't deserve it. Sorry, Abel Ferrara and Nicholas St. John. From this tumult and turmoil came a scheming beast who really did want to use his powers for good, but like anyone, had to survive. That's the dark streak in me.